Hello there, I will be right with you. Just have to fix this in YouTube land. Okay. All right, should be a slideshow on for you. Let me just make sure that's going on, and I'm going to go and see about, yes, that's happening. So there's so much conspiracy going on in these Faye Swetlik discussion groups that people are hoping that when this press conference comes on that they're going to, let's see, so I just see that that's not, they're at the memorial now. Let me see what's going on here. So it looks like it might be raining there. They have a large memorial and here.
For many, life is about waiting for the right moment.
Looking for that. Okay. So it's in the press conference. It's not on yet. It's just the preliminary stuff. But there's such conspiracy going on in the groups that they're hoping that this press conference will stop. There's people with all kinds of things saying that, you know, Cody wasn't the perpetrator, that perhaps he, you know, I mean, everywhere, every scenario you can imagine. And in the Gannon groups, you know, the same kind of thing goes on. But a lot of people, you know, now there's some weird picture circulating, which they say is not true in the Gannon groups. That were there was a red pickup truck, and they say it was seen there by a real estate video, and then people saying that's totally false. It's being removed. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of you know, fake stuff that's in there, and just nothing but conspiracy. But let's see if we can.
That have been going on around that memorial site, and you know, I know that the community really came together. As we can see behind Emily, there's a tent over that memorial site, and Emily, you know, everybody is working so hard to preserve that memory of her as we await some of these what could be really gruesome details.
All right, that was our Emily Wakeman. We'll be checking back within.
Okay, so we still do not have the press conference on yet. I'm just going to pop the chat out so I can see your chat while I am looking for the press conference to start. Okay, hang on. This may be, let me see. We've got the podium here, but let me just grab the chat. Hey there, Bergstrong. How are you? How are you guys? Let me see who's here. Hi, Sakura. Hi, Nanette. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Millie. Hi, Ethereal Goddess. Hi, Vivica. Hi, Bengal. Belinda. Gary. The press conference should be starting momentarily, Gary. This time I have it right. I'm looking at the podium as we speak. I'll put the audio on as soon as we have someone at the podium. Hi, BRB doll. I hope you're doing well.
Investigation stands, because there are so many unknown elements at this point in the story, and hopefully today some of those questions will start to be answered, and hopefully give Faye's family, this community, this entire neighborhood, this entire Midlands community some closure.
All right, we understand that they are assembling and about to step to the podium. Just as a recap for those who may just be joining us, we are about to hear from officials in the Cayce Department of Public Safety, along with the Lexington County Coroner, about the latest details, the autopsy results for 6-year-old Faye Swetlik. Guys, if you will let's listen in.
All right, here we go.
The second person to speak will be the Department of Public Safety director for the city of Cayce. His name is Byron Snelgrove, B-Y-R-O-N. Snelgrove is S-N-E-L-L-G-R-V-O-V-E. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to the city of Cayce. The last time we spoke, we let you know that our work was ongoing in the case of Faye Swetlik. Today we're here to give you some of those answers that everyone has been asking for. We appreciate your patience and your time and your compassion. And at this time I'd invite Coroner Margaret Fisher, DPS Director Byron Snelgrove, and other leaders from local, state, and federal agencies to the stage.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to personally express my gratitude to Lieutenant Mike Burrell and the Charleston County Sheriff's Department for providing the motorcade to accompany Faye back to Lexington on Saturday with the respect and dignity that she deserved. I would also like to thank the Cayce Department of Public Safety and the Town of Lexington Police Department for their assistance with that touching tribute to a little girl who has touched as many hearts. Thank you to the team at MUSC who worked meticulously to help us determine the cause of Faye's death, and to Trinity Baptist Church for hosting this and previous press conferences. I want to express my appreciation to you, the media, for your compassion and constant coverage of Faye's story since last Monday, and for your patience throughout this investigation. You respectfully fulfilled our request that Faye's parents be allowed privacy and time to process the information given to them following the autopsy. On behalf of my staff and myself, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the compassion, the kindness, and the support that the community has shown us since last Thursday. The thoughtfulness and generosity of everyone who has provided meals and other things to uplift us throughout these especially daunting days has really touched our hearts. In a time of shattered hope and incomprehensible sadness, when we must face the worst of what people are capable of, you have helped to restore our faith in humanity and remind us of the strength of our community. We encounter tragedy and loss on a daily basis, and we are impacted by each death we investigate and all the loved ones that we serve. And the loss of Faye, an innocent child who was simply playing in her own yard at the hands of another person, has been extremely difficult on all of us. There are no adequate words to express the depth of our sadness and our sympathy for Faye's parents. To Faye's mother and father, my heart, like so many others, breaks for you. I know that there's nothing I can say to bring any comfort or peace. I am so deeply sorry for what you're going through and for the loss of your precious baby girl. No parent should ever have to know such pain. And you are and will be in our thoughts and prayers for so many, including me, and you and Faye will remain in my heart forever. Before I disclose the results of Faye's autopsy, I want to make everyone aware that the results of the other autopsy related to this investigation will be released to the media following this press conference. Out of respect for the Swetlik family, I will only be speaking about Faye at this time. Furthermore, I will not address the conditions of Faye's body or the other details out of respect and because this is an ongoing investigation. Faye Swetlik's death did not occur at the location where her body was discovered. And her body had not been at that location. Her body had been at that location for only a short time. We have concluded that Faye's death was a homicide and took place within only a few hours after she was abducted. The cause of Faye's death has been ruled asphyxiation. Unless there's new evidence pertinent to the investigation of my office, we will not release any additional information regarding Faye Marie Swetlik. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. My name is Byron Snelgrove. I am the Director of Public Safety for the City of Cayce. I've been asked by several media people to explain what that is. That means that I am the Chief of Police and the Chief of the Fire Department in the City of Cayce. Standing with me up here are Margaret Fisher, the Coroner of Lexington County, who just spoke, Chief Mark Keel of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, Sheriff Jade Kuhn, Lexington County Sheriff's Office, and Special Agent in Charge Jody Norris of the Columbia Office of the FBI. I want to thank them for all of their assistance in this investigation, and I just want to say that there are so many other agencies that were involved in this that it could take me all day to list them. But I surely appreciate all the information that they gave us, all the help that they gave us with personnel, and everything else that they did for us. In addition, I want to thank the community for doing all sorts of stuff for us. They were bringing us food, making sure that we had what we needed to continue to operate as far as sustenance. Trinity Baptist Church was very instrumental in ensuring that we had everything that we needed to keep everyone that was working alert and ready to go. And we truly appreciate that. On behalf of the Cayce Department of Public Safety and our city leaders and our staff as a whole, I want each of you to know that this was not just an investigation or a case for us. Faye Swetlik quickly grabbed all of our hearts, and this case became and will always remain very personal for each of us. Faye will never be forgotten. There are simply no words that can adequately convey our heartfelt sorrow or condolences for Faye's family, her friends, her classmates at Springdale Elementary School, Faye's teachers, her school resource officer, and all of Lexington School District 2. Very specifically, her Churchill Heights neighbors and friends. For the entire Cayce community, the loss of Faye Marie Swetlik will never leave our hearts or our minds, but it is my hope that together here today, we can start to process this horrific crime and grieve the loss of this precious life. 8 days ago at approximately 3:45 p.m., Faye Marie Swetlik was discovered to be missing by her mother. Her mother did what most parents would do. She called her friends, she gathered her neighbors, and she frantically looked around the neighborhood for her daughter. Having no luck, she placed a frantic call to 911 at approximately 5 p.m. By 5:03, Cayce officers were on the scene at Churchill Heights and were gathering information. They talked with family members and neighbors and began going through the neighborhood to look for Faye. Within 30 minutes of their arrival, officers notified the Cayce command staff, including myself, and all of us immediately responded to Churchill Heights and began asking for assistance from other local agencies. By 6 p.m., having so far not located Faye, both SLED and the FBI were contacted and immediate assistance was requested. At this time, we had 50 or more law enforcement officers, firefighters, and first responders on the scene, and we were doing organized canvasses door to door in searches of the neighborhood to initiate our first and initiated our first neighborhood perimeter search. Prior to Monday, many of you will remember we had a great deal of rain over a short period of time. We have areas of flooding and rough, dense terrain in our city. This includes the area directly around Churchill Heights neighborhood. Regardless of these conditions, all officers were asked to check every pool, creek, culvert, manhole, trash can, shed, play structure, woods, and anywhere else that a young girl could be. Over the next hour, our law enforcement presence grew to over 90 personnel. Both SLED and the FBI were on scene. A SLED helicopter assisted from the air, and numerous K-9 teams from several local agencies were in the area searching for Faye. Faye was placed in the NCIC, that's the National Crime Information Database, as a missing child. A BOLO, or be on the lookout for, was issued for Faye to every agency across our region. We placed pictures and information across social media, and it immediately was shared by thousands of people. While this was happening, the Lexington County Sheriff's Office and the Cayce Department of Public Safety were setting up a mobile command unit in the middle of the neighborhood so that we could maintain a presence of officers in that area 24 hours a day until this was concluded. We also converted Cayce City Hall into a much larger stationary command center for the more than 300 law enforcement officers and firefighters from across the region that joined in our search. For the remainder of the night, there was a heavy presence of first responders in and around the area. Cayce officers shut down the neighborhood and were instructed to stop every car coming in and going out of the neighborhood and to talk to every person they saw to see if they had any information about Faye's whereabouts. By Tuesday morning, a dedicated Faye Swetlik hotline was set up and went live at our command center. We began roadblock operations at all entrances around the neighborhood. We spoke to everyone coming in and going out and asked for consent to look in their vehicles. Everyone was extremely cooperative, understanding, and very helpful. Our officers were provided with a standardized FBI questionnaire form that was specifically targeted to glean information to help us find Faye. This is what the officers used when they talked to anyone in reference to this case. That morning we did a coordinated effort with multiple agencies to go door to door to question all residents, friends, and visitors in all 280 plus homes in Churchill Heights. Our goal was to speak to every occupant of every residence, no matter how long it took. And we would also request consent to enter and look for anything that would lead us to find Faye. Grid searches of the perimeter of the neighborhood were also conducted multiple times. All the while, officers were again instructed to check every pool, creek, culvert, manhole, trash can, shed, or any other structure or area that a young girl may be in. K-9s continued to search, and on Wednesday, another round of grid and perimeter searches were conducted. Wednesday night, with all the current law enforcement operations taking place, we decided to bring another city department as a resource to help us find Faye. Thursday was the regular sanitation pickup day for Churchill Heights, and all residents were obviously aware of that. On Thursday morning, our officers diligently and methodically followed the Cayce sanitation trucks through the neighborhood, and as each can was loaded and emptied into the back of a garbage truck, they methodically combed through it to see if they could find any piece of information or clue in hopes of finding something that would lead us to Faye. At approximately 10 a.m., a trash can near 602 Piccadilly Square was emptied, and as our officers went through it, they found a couple of items that were of significant importance. One was a child's polka dot boot, and the second was a soup ladle that had freshly dug dirt in it. I happened to be on scene at that time, and upon seeing these items, I called for assistance to do an additional and immediate grid search of the areas directly behind Londonderry and Piccadilly Square. As assistance was coming, I went into the woods behind the townhomes, and just before 10:30 a.m., I located the body of Faye Swetlik. At approximately 10:30, other Cayce officers were notified of a residence that there was a man bleeding on the back patio. That was 602 Piccadilly Square. Officers immediately went to his aid and found a deceased white male. Immediately, SLED's crime scene unit collected various samples of DNA from both crime scenes and from inside 602 Piccadilly Square. That DNA, once tested, connected the unknown pieces of this horrific crime. I can tell you that the deceased male had been contacted and interviewed at 602 Piccadilly on Wednesday afternoon. He was cooperative and gave consent to agents to look through the house. Those agents did not see anything that alerted them to believe that he had knowledge or was in any way involved in Faye's disappearance at that time. Evidence leads us to believe that the deceased abducted and killed 6-year-old Faye Marie Swetlik, and it appears that he is the sole perpetrator of this crime. Evidence further shows that Faye's body was moved in the shadow of the night to behind the townhouses where she was found in the early morning hours on Thursday morning under the cover of darkness. Throughout the time we spent searching for Faye, we kept a very large presence of officers and agents in the Churchill Heights neighborhood 24 hours a day. Our team working on this case grew exponentially from 50 officers to over 300. Every door to every residence in Churchill Heights was knocked on, and officers continued to go back to every house until every resident or occupant of that house was interviewed. Many times that took 3 to 4 times to accomplish. There were 4 searches of the perimeter from the time Faye went missing until the night before she was found. That included trash cans, dumpsters, and other areas around the neighborhood. As of Friday at 5 p.m., officers had followed 283 leads just from the hotline alone. All those leads were followed until they were exhausted. We pulled video from almost 50 locations and reviewed a total of 756 gigabytes of video. I'll say in my 33 years of law enforcement, I have never seen such a large group of officers, investigators, firefighters, and other first responder and staff come together in the way that everyone did here. Nor have I seen federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies come together as a team, working around the clock as one unit with one goal: to try and bring a little 6-year-old baby girl home. I want to thank everyone who worked on this team. I would also like to personally thank each and every member of this community that called in tips, provided information, and prayed for Faye and us. I assure you, every prayer was felt and greatly appreciated. Tonight, as our entire community begins the healing process, a vigil is planned to support Faye's family, friends, classmates, teachers, neighbors, and other members of our community. And we invite anyone that would like to honor the life of Faye Marie Swetlik to attend. It will be on the lawn in front of Cayce City Hall at 5:30 this evening, and it will happen rain or shine. I'll take any questions that anybody has now.
Sir, is there any indication of where she may have been between Monday night and Thursday morning?
We do not know at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Why was the decision made to do the autopsy at MUSC?
That's a question for the coroner.
MUSC is the forensic pathologist, are at MUSC, and they handle all the autopsies for the coroner's office that are forensically related to cases. So that was not an unusual thing for us to send them to MUSC. They do all of our forensic cases.
Did the suspect have a roommate?
Yes.
You made contact with that roommate this week?
We have been in contact with the roommate, yes. And we have nothing that indicates that he knew anything about what was going on, and he was not at the residence that much during the time.
Any indication as to what the cause of death was or what the male was found in?
That will be released by the coroner after this.
Talking about the security footage you reviewed at the Tipsy Gun, looking back at anything linked to Cody Taylor's involvement on that video or in the tips you received?
We do have some video that shows Cody doing some things that were suspicious to us, yes.
Can you elaborate on what those were?
No, not at this time.
2 more questions and that'll be all.
Did he leave any kind of a note or message of any kind behind?
None.
What did he say when you interviewed him?
I did not interview him, and quite frankly, I don't know exactly what he said.
Inside the residence after you discovered Faye, was there anything else that showed further evidence that she had in fact been inside that place?
Well, DNA was tested and did connect and link the residence, the deceased male, and Faye to that location.
You mentioned that ladle with dirt on it. What led you to believe that had a connection?
It was a hunch.
All right, that'll be all today. Thank you all very much. If
Thank
you
you.
have any questions, please let us know and check your emails, certainly for the state from the coroner's office. Thank you all very much.
So you just heard the news there from the Cayce Department of Public Safety Director.
Okay,
Byron
so
Snelgrove.
hang on 1 second. Okay, so that was, I know a few of you were asking how come there were not more details about Cody, blah, 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 but that they did that out of respect for Faye's family. And they said they were going to release the autopsy reports after that. So after this, excuse me. So that we can see them in detail, but they don't have to be read out for Faye's family. The bloody knife that was mentioned around other forums, I think that probably, from what they said, and I'm, just supposing here, they said that, they did say a male was bleeding on the back patio, and when they got there, the male was deceased. He might have done himself in with the knife. They did say the polka dot boot, which went around the Web Sleuth forums, was found in the trash. They mentioned a ladle with freshly dug dirt. So I'm not sure of the ground in South Carolina. Maybe Melinda, you know better. Is he able to dig a shallow grave with a ladle? Is that what they're saying there? Or did he try? But it was a hunch. he said, because one of the questions was, how did they know that the ladle with the dirt was connected? And he said it was a hunch. And that DNA connected Faye, the residents, and Cody together. So she was in that residence. They said that, the coroner said that she was only recently moved to that wooded area. And then the officer said he believed that occurred in the early morning hours of Thursday under the cover of darkness. And the manner of death was asphyxiation for Faye. Yes, Jolie. Yes, we can. Okay. So, would have been soft. Yeah, I'm not sure. Apple Snapple, we don't know that it could have been that it was he tried to do that, but then was unsuccessful and put that in the garbage anyway. Maybe he was also burying something else, like clothing or something. Yeah, Terry, it has been raining, right? Yeah, well, whatever it is, the main facts are what they said. So there is the connection. I know a lot of you asked about a roommate. Someone else did in the audience as well. He said, yes, he had a roommate. We don't know, Terry. We don't know. He had a roommate, and the roommate was, interviewed by the police and not shown to have any connection in any of this, and was not even there most of the time, is what they said, or for great deals of time. I don't have his exact words, but that's what it meant. Red clay in upstate South Carolina, I see. So, how did he lure? They didn't talk about how he lured her or anything like that. They also said they didn't know, someone asked in the audience, do they know where Faye was from Monday to Thursday morning? No, they don't. Not at this time, is what he said, not at this time. Hi, Jen Proctor. Yeah, BRB doll, perhaps that will be released in a bit, but who really knows, though, if the perpetrator is deceased? Did anyone see this? How would they know? Right? How would they know? Someone would have to see, or he would have had to have told someone prior to killing himself. Or if he had ever approached anyone in the community, any other child in the community prior to this, if a child comes forward and says, oh my gosh, that guy asked me whatever to see puppies at his house, or that he was going to give me candy, that's probably the only way we would ever know. And then even at that point, we wouldn't know that's what he did with Faye 100%. No, they didn't. They just said it was a male that was bleeding on his back patio, and when they got there, that he was deceased. They said they're going to release autopsy reports, but they're not going to speak about them out of respect for Faye's family. Well, they said he was very cooperative during the questioning, Penn, because they did question this Cody. I mean, they interviewed him. He let them come around the house, but they may not have looked in every, if he was very cooperative and he had them come in the home, they may not have looked in every nook and cranny, okay, for her. We don't know that they opened every closet or looked under every bed or looked in every storage tote or whatever. Very possible, Just Joy. When did they say she died? They actually didn't say a time of death. They said that she was not in the wooded area long and that her cause of death was asphyxiation. I don't know that they brought dogs into his home. They didn't say that. They said that he invited them in to take a look around the home. Did they say that, Melinda? I must have missed that. And maybe that was when I had to get up because I had something. I don't know whether I swallowed something wrong. I was coughing. I had to go. So that could have been. Did they say not long after she was abducted? They said that in this. I must have missed that. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. That must have been when I had a little bit of a coughing attack. Thanks, Mama Ames. Thank you, guys. Okay, thanks, GMAPs, thanks. They said about 2 hours after she was abducted. Okay, Robin, thank you. Well, you would think someone saw something because, like I said before, and when I go with the Google Maps, there's children I see out in the area. Who knows? Maybe a child will come forward. Maybe there are some children that don't know yet, you know what I mean? And as their parents tell them or whatever, maybe one will come forward either with a story of how they were approached by this guy, we don't know, or that they saw something. I don't know. I didn't hear that, Penn, Garth. The roommate was posting. It's possible. Well, it actually said it was a friend of the roommate, so I think that's more possible. Being a friend of the roommate. Because it wasn't mentioned that the male was bleeding on the patio, right? There was a mention of a bloody knife, saying it was found. There was the mention of the polka dot boot in the garbage. There was no mention of the ladle with the dirt. So it was partially correct. Yes, I believe so, Mama Ames. I'm not sure if he actually said that, but he said something about, do you know where she was between the Monday and Thursday? Not at this time. So that's what it certainly sounds like, Mom Ames, that it is ongoing. It is, okay. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot that we haven't been told yet. Oh my gosh, it's so weird that you said that, GMAPS, about the young Girl Scout, because guess what? Over the weekend, I was contacted by her mother. And she had told me that her son, who's very involved with the foundation, Jones Foundation, had seen one of my videos about her. And they were very impressed and said they had not seen a video done like that. And she invited me to attend some of Jones Foundation events if I'm in the area. And so I'm going to contact her and, try to speak with her, maybe see if she wants to speak a little more on Jones Foundation. I know she likes to do that, and we'll see, but that's so strange that you mentioned that now. It could be that they were very moved by this case, and maybe the son, I don't know if this case, if it would be interesting to hear her perspective on that as well. Used to be the first 24 hours were crucial, then it was 12, then 7. Now it's now 2. Because, Joan, yes, the disappearance is very similar by a neighbor, abducted by a neighbor who was a science teacher. And she was inside, Rosemarie was inside that home and saw him coming, he had a robe on coming down the stairs, that he had come out of the shower. And she said she just knew he did something. It was very eerie. If you read, especially The Killer Across the Table by John Douglas, who profiled that murderer. Yes, GMAPS. Yes, I really want to. I was just going to respond, write her a letter today or give her a call. You've been known to be a wee bit psychic. Yeah, I get that kind of stuff too, right? I don't think it's odd he killed himself. Sapphire Bree says knew he was busted. Killed himself to get out of trouble, to avoid what he knew was coming, not because he was feeling guilty. Be hard to... Yeah, time for a change, so difficult. Right, oh, right, the videos, yeah, and I did write that they found him doing some suspicious things, that they would not elaborate on what. Not too many details. They gave the details about, that she wasn't in the wooded area long, that there was DNA that connected Faye, the residents, and Cody together, that Cody apparently killed himself on the back patio, that there was a report of a man bleeding there, and when they went there, he was deceased, that the polka dot boot was found in the trash, along with a ladle with freshly dug dirt on it. No, he was not known to law enforcement, Jody. He had no criminal record. Did they find... They didn't... All they mentioned, Carol, was the boot. Could he have been digging to hide the clothing? I don't know. Thanks, Renee. Yeah, Salai? He had traffic violations only? Yeah, I didn't even hear about the traffic violations. Right, Jeannie, yeah, so terrible. Do you feel it would be disrespectful? Well, I think they have some fun set up, Dark Joker. There are memorials where you can leave flowers and things. You know, they have several memorials that they're preserving, like you can see in the pictures. They also have tents over them now. I know they have something at the school. I know there's a vigil tonight. I mean, I don't know how close you are, but there is a vigil tonight that he mentioned. And there are foundations that are set up where you can make a monetary donation. Why would he have one boot in the trash? I don't know, unless, who knows? There's a lot of different scenarios, but they would just be that. The Gannon case is very frustrating. Oh, Melinda says you can donate at any Wells Fargo. What do they just ask for? They just say that it's for Faye Swetlik's family, Melinda? Do you have any more information on that? About the Wells Fargos? You think there's a public service on Friday as well, Dark Joker, Mama Ames does. I believe the funeral is being paid for, if I understand correctly. And I'm not sure... Melinda, do you know any more about that? Or were the donations, and do you have any more information on that? Being that you're in the state there? Just say her name, BRB doll. Go to the Wells Fargo and just say her name. Okay. So, Dark Joker, I hope that you heard that. I think they said they would be released after the press conference. This is it. Funeral home is donating the funeral. Okay, very nice. Funeral is covered. That's good. The funeral home is paying for everything. Your husband donated today. Free Faye Marie Swetlik is what you say at any Wells Fargo, Dark Joker. Funeral, you believe, is 7 p.m. Friday evening. Okay. You tried donating over the phone and it didn't work. I see, Michelle. Thank you. But the mama can't even get dressed. Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't saying that not to donate because the funeral is being paid for. Please don't misunderstand me, Salai. Not at all. I was just saying the funeral was... Okay. 1 second. I just got to take a quick call from my doctor here. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry. Jimmy is so funny. He makes it sound like it's an emergency that my doctor is calling. Scared the crap out of me, but it's to schedule my annual physical, which is coming up next month. Sorry about that. Okay, so he's got that all scheduled now. Oh my goodness. Did they say it was asphyxiation, Robin? And so, but I want to get back to Salai. Yeah, I was just saying that the funeral is paid for because I thought it was a nice gesture, not that Dark Joker or anyone else should not donate to the family. I just want to clear that up. I knew you were not. Oh, okay. Good, Salai. Live just west of Parkland. Even bought a bulletproof backpack. Oh, yeah. Donations are helping the mother move and relocate. I read that on a GoFundMe. Okay, but be careful now, Jody Lynn, of GoFundMes. Make sure they're truly going to the family. I know that's why Melinda and I think said it, Mama Ames, someone else, that the Wells Fargo is authorized to take the donations. So just make sure, because unfortunately, when things like this happen, there are people that set up GoFundMes that are not doing it for the family. We've seen it happen many times. I'm just saying, I'm not saying the one you saw is not legit. I'm just saying be careful. Make sure they are. She needs to get out there. Go to Wells Fargo. Okay. Said to use, the grandmother said to use the bank. She didn't mention a GoFundMe. I wouldn't trust it. Because I saw something in one of the groups and it said it was from the family, but when I went and I looked, it was set up by someone else and I wasn't sure about it. I don't know. Just if they have a Wells Fargo, then you know that it's legit. But just tragedies like this, you would think people wouldn't, but there's lots of scams that are connected and GoFundMes and stuff like that notoriously have been created, by people that are not connected at all in order to get donations meant for the family. Correct, Stargazer. Yeah. So if you have something at they have something at Wells Fargo Bank, and they can be, BRB Doll says don't use GoFundMe. Wells Fargo is taking any and all donations. Okay, Justin Cayce says a memorial service will be held at 7 p.m. on Friday, February 21st at Trinity Baptist Church in Cayce. The funeral home is Dignity Funeral Home. Do you think the cops had body cams on? I don't know. Possibly, probably. What happened? What did this? Hi, Bella Mac. Yeah, I know, Jolene, right? How could they do that? But there are people that do really weird things with fundraisers. And GoFundMe charges a fee to handle it, right? So you go to the Wells Fargo and mention her name. Hi, Jessica Rosenfeld. How are you? Right, Teresa, it impacts all the children, and I'm sure they have arranged for counseling to help them as well. Right, Peggy Sue. But the mother wishes to relocate, understandably. Who would want to live that close to what happened? A constant reminder of it. It's horrific. I think we all can understand that. You're welcome, Maureen. How about, I don't know, does anybody, Melinda, Mama Ames, do you know how people outside of South Carolina or that don't have a Wells Fargo near them can donate? Someone said you can't do it on the phone. The link won't post, but Dignity, it's okay. See his place, right, and so close, that poor mother, right, absolutely, TK. Yeah, I know that someone said that they weren't Mom Ames, but I don't know. We'll have to find out about that, and well, let Mama Ames, let's do some research. Maybe we can find out, and then we can update you guys on the community page or somewhere. Try to find out about maybe Flagstar Bank. Maybe. Oh, no problem, Justin Casers. They said shortly after that press conference. So I think when they release them, they may be on that Department of Safety, the Cayce Department of Safety page. Can it be done at their Wells Fargo in South Carolina online? I don't know, Debbie D. Memorial account has been set up for Swetlik at any Wells Fargo bank. All you have to do is donate and say Faye's name. Can they do it on the phone, BRB doll? Can they do it by phone, or do they have to go into a branch? And what if they don't have a branch near them? Is there another option? Family will need, grieving a long time, right? Mary, well, her mother is a single mother from what I hear with a newborn. Okay, Justin. We have so few Wells Fargos in Southern California now. They didn't say that, Eyes of Blue, whether she was buried or not. I wonder where they're going. Correct, Jolene. Yeah, well, they absolutely. Donations for Canadians, correct. We're trying to find out about that. Thank you, Justin Casers. Okay, well, Justin Casers is going to try to find out some information. You probably could, mail a check. Let's see what Justin finds out. Yes, a newborn. From what Salai, is that true? That's Salai, a newborn, correct? You're welcome, Stargazer. Yeah, but what happens, we are one if they're living in Canada or they live in an area that doesn't have a Wells Fargo is what we're trying to find out. She was slightly buried but not well, Salai. Right, this is in Canada, so we're trying to figure that out. Hi there, Robin Steinmark. How are you, Stenmark? How are you doing? I'll ask my cousin later tonight after she gets home and let you know. Oh, it's not, she doesn't have she's taking care of a newborn, you mean? Does she have any other children, Salai? I had felt it was a neck wound. He was sitting on the back porch bleeding, deceased. Yeah, Linda. They did say that there was a male bleeding on the back patio when he was deceased. Well, yes, he is in her life according to Media Report 2 Scooter, where they went to the house, and they were actually, him and his girlfriend, who considers herself Faye's stepmother, were supposed to visit that very weekend. The weekend coming up. You know, she was missing on Monday, that coming weekend. What, Lisa? What are you wanting to start? As a group, start what? They're taking donations at Wells Fargo, Lisa. I don't know if you're talking about donations. We're trying to find out how people can get the donations to Wells Fargo. She apparently, I don't know, I think was taking care of a newborn is what Salai is saying. That she was... But they're saying it's not her newborn. Was inflicted. Yeah, that's where that bloody knife comes in, Salai. You're still looking, BRB? Thank you. Yes, Teresa, it really is. Not hers. Does she have any other children, Salai? Transfer from bank to bank, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, they should. There's a Wells Fargo in London, UK. Linda Jackson says. You found a Wells Fargo in Toronto at 40 King Street West. You had no idea you had one. Wow. Who did you hear say that, Monica? You're on hold for a manager. Oh, okay, thank you. Justin, ask them if they can, if there's an address to send checks or money orders in. If there's any online payment options and options for people that are in countries that don't have Wells Fargo to donate. Get all the scoop, please. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for doing that. If you look at Wells Fargo, should be a link to donate to Faye. Okay, in South Carolina. Oh, and we've got Justin on the phone with them, so I'll look for a link right now in South Carolina. Let me see. see. Okay, what it says is, oh, please, just...
And relief from
Where's this coming from? Oh, this thing, I can't take this anymore. I can't even... They've got like this spaceship on their site all the freaking time. Hold on. There, now that should be off. Okay, so here we have her parents, Faye's parents told WLTX Saturday at a vigil that a separate private wake-in funeral for the girl is being planned. They also thanked the public for their support. A memorial and a guest book for Faye has been placed at the Kaufman Harmon Funeral Home. Now that's different than someone just said. Okay, they're saying this is the CAUGHMAN-Harmon Funeral Home, HARMAN Funeral Home, Lexington Chapel, located at 503 North Lake Drive. Anyone in the community who would like to stop in to sign the guest book may do so. The funeral home confirmed all of Faye's funeral expenses have been paid for, but did not say by whom. The family also set up an account at Wells Fargo for donations, so there's no mention of any GoFundMe here. The city of Cayce has also announced there will be a community candlelight vigil on that's today, February 18th at 5:30 p.m. on City Hall front lawn located at 1800 12th Street. The vigil will last 30 minutes and candles will be provided. Okay, let's see here. And I apologize, I can't see the chat if you're... I'm just trying to see if there was a link. Let's see if I go to Wells Fargo, you just go right to... Just go to the branch page or something. At 1131 Knox Abbott Drive in Cayce, South Carolina, there's a Wells Fargo branch. And the phone number, if you have it, is 803-253-6786. Maybe they can help anybody that's... But just in case her I know is on the phone... Hold on, let me get back to the chat here. No Wells Fargo in Canada. Lisa, this is it, said there was one in Canada. That's the address and the number for the Wells Fargo in Cayce. If anybody, I would contact the church that has been hosting. That's the Trinity Baptist Church. But there's the number for the Wells Fargo. And did Justin Cacers get any more information? You just Googled about 15 minutes ago and it brought up one 11 miles from you. Just make sure it goes for the right donation. Right. And make sure her name is on it. Toronto, Canada has a Wells Fargo near you. This is it. He's checking. Okay, good. I'm just going to heat up my coffee just for a second. Can you donate through PayPal? I don't know, Linda. We don't know if they're taking on, we're trying to find out if they're taking up online donations. I'll be right there, Sana. Yeah, I didn't hear about the one I just read was from the parents, and they're saying Wells Fargo. So, I mean, I would go with Wells Fargo way over a GoFundMe. Like I said, I saw something about a GoFundMe in one of the groups a few days ago, and it's something about it just didn't strike me that it was I don't know. Sometimes I get very nervous. Like I said, I'm a very skeptical person, and have seen so many scams around things like this where people set up GoFundMes that are not legitimate, that I'm wary of them. So maybe I'm overly wary, but being that the parents didn't mention it, I would say do the Wells Fargo. That way you know they're getting it. The other one, may or may not be legit. Because someone had said in that one, I think that the grandmother said to donate there, and but then when I went to it, it said it was set up by, they just said something like a friend or something. So how do we know that's the right one? Like, I'm always like, how do you know that's the right one? At least with Wells Fargo, right? To get together. I live in Concord, North Carolina. All of us that are here should get together. Yes, Janae, he was bleeding on the back patio, and when the officers reached him, he was deceased. You're talking with a service manager? Okay, and just in case there's also the number right here for the Cayce branch. I just put that up. A reporter was talking. Really? Danielle. I don't know. I had a feeling that was the case. This is legit. Yes. I maybe that's the one I saw, Monica, but if you go to the GoFundMe, is it set up by someone that's not the grandmother? That might be when I got a little bit, my skeptical radar went up, and that could just be from I'm in New York, and it could be totally legit, but how come it wasn't mentioned in the article? I believe it's a knife snow remover. No, you can't be over worried when it comes to thieves, Carolyn, right? Okay, thank you, Justin Casers. Yeah, good job, buddy. Any of the local, or even an hour or two away that want to go and meet up, it's a good time to meet with other ramblers for a great cause. Like good job, buddy is saying. I had a great time meeting up with other ramblers. There are 3 GoFundMe pages. Oh, that's Faye's godmother, Monica. If they agree to take donations, yeah, right, they do. Everybody wants to make sure when you're giving something that it's going to the right person. Right, Bellamac? Okay, so Mrs. Roger Rabbit says the coroner's office said that Cody died by suicide as a result of an incised wound to the neck. Thank you, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. And Melinda says GoFundMe takes a percentage. It's always best to go straight to the bank. Hi, Carla Wren. Yes, DNA connected, snow remover DNA connected Cody, the residence, and Faye. So she was in the residence at one time. She was brought out to the wooded area, and he committed suicide on the patio area of his townhome. The DNA has connected all three. I'm looking at Wells Fargo. They take donations for the American Red Cross, so be sure it is going to the Swetlik family. So they confirmed that, yes, that it was connected. Yes, to Scooter, yes. I never do understand why simple things become so complicated. Cannot be too careful. A friend and I sent a new reborn doll to a girl who had been faking cancer. Ugh. They didn't say anything about that out of respect, Love and Lavender. Gotcha, snow remover. Hi, Wildlife. You have to be careful where the money is going. Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to make sure your donation goes to the family. Yes, it is possible, Ab. Those who want to donate to Faye's family, BRB Doll says, should go to any Wells Fargo, mention Memorial Fund, Faye Marie Swetlik. There's one GoFundMe that will benefit the family. No other fundraisers are legitimate. Your break's over? Okay, snow remover. See you later. Jody Lynn, I don't know, but I think what she's saying is that Wells Fargo. See, I'm very confused. Are you saying? I'm a little confused too at what you're saying. BRB Doll, are you saying that there's one GoFundMe? It's at Wells Fargo, so then they're still going to take 30%. There's no way to donate directly to Wells Fargo. I thought they have an account directly at Wells Fargo from what I read. First they said 3, now 1. Oh, I see. Okay. I understand now. You're saying that they can do Wells Fargo or they can do one GoFundMe, but you would advise the Wells Fargo. Yes, I would too. Please use the Wells Fargo because you know the family set that up. You know Wells Fargo is not going to fool around with the donations. Make sure they're labeled to Faye and just in case. Okay, got into, let me type accurately. Okay, so just in case has some more Wells Fargo information that he's going to put up now. So just hang tight for a second. Right, you trust, I trust people more than I should when it comes to the internet. I just expect everyone's going to be as nice as I am, but I understand the world we live in. It's hard to trust anyone. I understand that there. Good job, buddy. All I can say is walk into Wells Fargo, but I'm still searching for a link. Yeah, I couldn't find the link. Family is stating what their wishes are by using Wells Fargo, and it appears that no one is wanting to follow their wishes. It's obvious they didn't want to use GoFundMe. xfer says. People take advantage of these. Yeah, right, Lisa. You know, you want to really make sure that everything's going to them. But at Sarah, the only issue now is, how do people out of the country make a donation? Is there a link, an online link? That's what they're trying to find out through Wells Fargo. Hi, Maui Chickadee. How are you? Okay, BRB, thanks. No, they didn't. They didn't have the link there. I know, Kevin, right? That would be too easy, probably. There may not be a link, but you can use Wi-Fi calling to call the bank directly in South Carolina. I did put up the bank. Here's the number for South Direct. This is the Cayce branch of Wells Fargo. That number there, that 803-253-6786. 803-253-6786 is the Cayce, South Carolina branch. The coroner's autopsy for Cody was given out on Channel 19. Carotid artery injuries, bled out fast. Okay, so is it on the Facebook page, Linda, that you're looking at, Channel 19, through the Facebook page or the website? Let me see. Hold on. Let me go. Okay, well, this is, I'm looking at another, where I the news station that covered the press conference. Let me see. So it shows the autopsy
Good
showed.
afternoon.
Hold on.
And welcome back to the city of Cayce. The last time we spoke, we let you know that our work was ongoing in the case of Faye Swetlik. Today we're here to give you some of those answers.
Okay, that's that's the conference we already heard, but it said where was that? The autopsy showed Faye died just a few hours after she was abducted. Officials said this 6-year-old died of asphyxiation, which means the suspect cut off her air supply. It's not clear if she was strangled or suffocated. When police found Faye's body, they said she had only been there a short time. The coroner said Faye did not die where she was found. You know, I just saw a picture that, let me see here. Trying to see something. Okay. Police also found the body of a 30-year-old neighbor, Cody Taylor, a short time after finding Faye. Tuesday, police said Taylor killed Faye and that he was the only one involved in her death. This is what this news report says. This is from WIS News 10. Live local now. Police questioned Taylor on Wednesday afternoon, 2 days after officials believe he killed the little girl. He gave officers permission to search his home. So remember, they didn't have a search warrant. That means they probably didn't open up every closet, go, under every bed or anything like that. They probably took a look around. At that time, they did not find any evidence. However, the next morning, officers were going through trash cans in the neighborhood when they found one of Faye's rain boots, the polka-dotted rain boots she was wearing when she was seen last. It was in Taylor's trash can. They also found a soup ladle with freshly dug dirt. And this was said by Department of Public Safety Director Byron Snelgrove. Snelgrove said he was on scene that morning and he was the one who made the horrific discovery of her body. He was clearly emotional as he talked about those moments and how tough it has been working this case. Taylor's cause of death was not discussed in Tuesday's news conference out of respect for Faye's family, but it was shared after the fact. He killed himself, the coroner said. Details of when that happened have not been shared. They have now, I'm sure that they've been released, as you said. Tuesday night, again, people can come together at a candlelight vigil. If you live in the area, there's a candlelight vigil at the Cayce City Hall at 5:30 p.m. tonight. It will happen rain or shine and is expected to last 30 minutes. The city will provide candles for the mourners. Those who want to donate to Faye's family can go to any Wells Fargo and mention the Memorial Fund for Faye Marie Swetlik. And now it does say there is also one GoFundMe that will benefit the family. There is a link and it says no other fundraisers are legitimate. It says funeral expenses for little Faye will be covered by the funeral home. A public memorial service for Faye will be held at Trinity Baptist Church in Cayce on February 21st at 7 p.m. Her family wants everyone who attends to wear bright colors in honor of Faye's bright and bubbly personality. Okay, so there is a link to a GoFundMe. Let me see if it was the one that I saw. No, now I go to that link in the article, and it's not a good link. So I don't know whether they just put the wrong... it says, it's weird, when I go to this link, it's not, it doesn't work out. And so I don't know. So I would just go to the Wells Fargo. Maybe that's a sign. Go to the Wells Fargo. So hopefully, just in case you can find out how you can do that online if you don't have a branch near you. And let me see here. I'm trying to see if there was... And I know you said the other news station, so just hang on a minute. Okay, here we've got, let me see here. This is WIST. Yeah, that's the one I was watching. Okay. So... And you were saying you like the other one, 19, right? Hang on one second. Okay. I think it's this one. That's 19, okay. Be quiet. Okay, so this one. Okay, and for those of you asking about the DNA, officers said DNA evidence connected both crime scenes, okay, the woods and the residence. They believe Taylor killed the girl and is the sole perpetrator. They think he moved Faye's body to the woods in the early morning hours of Thursday under the cover of darkness. And Snelgrove said he did not know where Faye's body was stored during most of the search. Police said Taylor had no criminal background and was not known to law enforcement. And they spoke to Taylor and searched his home, but found no evidence that would lead them to believe he was involved in her disappearance. They added that he was cooperative and gave consent to search his house. Snelgrove did say video collected in their investigation afterward showed Taylor doing things that were suspicious, but he did not elaborate. There was a roommate who lived at Taylor's home, but they do not believe he was staying there for most of the ordeal and was not involved in the crime at all. Okay, let's see here. At a vigil over the weekend, Faye's parents were in attendance and thanked the community for their love and support. At Monday night's University of South Carolina women's basketball game, the school honored Faye. First responders who worked the Swetlik case walked out onto the court during the national anthem during the USC basketball game against Vanderbilt. A memorial image was shown in the arena, showing an image of Faye smiling with text that read, "In memory of Faye Swetlik." So that was very nice. And Swetlik was a first grader at Springdale Elementary School. Cayce DPS Chief Byron Snelgrove talked during his disappearance a little bit about the kind of girl Swetlik was. Faye is a bubbly, energetic, he said at the time. Faye's teacher Faye's teacher loves her. Faye's SRO loves her. Faye's classmates love her. When she walks into a room, she brightens it up. everybody
While
loves
people across
Faye.
the Midlands mourn, many also find ways to honor Faye and her family. At last night's
Okay, so she was honored at that basketball game, which was nice. And hang on. So on this one, so yeah, an incised wound around the neck is the manner of death that was determined, and it was determined to be a suicide, according to the coroner. The autopsy performed on February 16th concluded that Mr. Taylor's death was the result of an incised wound to the neck. The manner was determined to have been suicide. Okay, an investigation by the Cayce Department of Public Safety is ongoing. Okay, that's what we have so far on this. And then I'm going to go back to the chat and see if Justin Caser, but that number, please check out that number if you have any questions about donations. Excuse me. 803-253-6786. That's the Wells Fargo branch in Cayce, and I'm sure they can take your questions about donations. I know, Cindy, but there's probably stuff we don't know yet. And like I said, there's more stuff that can come out. Some of the children might not even have been told about this fully yet. Hi, Sassy Darcy. So did Justin, I'm sorry I missed. Oh, there, I see Carol thanking Justin. So let me see. Okay. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Justin said for UK and abroad, you may mail a check or money order directly to Wells Fargo or use the Zelle app to transfer money directly to the Wells Fargo account. Name Faye Marie Swetlik Memorial Fund. That is the account Faye's mom set up. That's great. So let me copy that. And I'm going to, do we have an address to Wells? Should we use the Cayce address? I would use the Cayce address, guys, I think, or use that transfer. To Wells Fargo. Let me see. And that, I'm just trying to get this down so I could put it in the okay, and let me see what else. So that would probably be the same for anyone in the US that's not near a branch. Or there is a, let me see if, okay, checks or money orders or Zelle app made payable. Oh, that's for the US. This is, okay. Any Wells Fargo. Okay, so there's a Zelle app. Let me see if we can get a link. I'm trying to get this because I'd like to put this in a comment that's pinned and in the description. So let me see, the Zelle app for Wells Fargo. Okay, so it's Wells Fargo Zelle, send and receive money. Okay, here is a link. And I'm on a desktop, so. That's a link for the app there. You don't have sound yet? You spoke with service manager. Scroll upwards. Yeah, I got it. I'm putting it all together, trying to put it somewhere so I can put it into a... Thank you for doing that, just in casers. Oh, that's nice. You're having your employees wear bright colors all week for Faye. That's lovely. Banks use Zelle. Okay. Danielle C. Gotcha. The Cayce address. Okay, I did put up the Cayce address. And I will put that in the description and in the... I'll make a pinned comment as soon as I get this all together where it's easy to understand. But that is the Cayce address, the number if anybody has questions. That would be nice, Janae. Yeah, I understand too, Scooter. Terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. I don't know, Ab. I don't know. Anyway, so I'll try to put something together so that they can get their donations in. Whoever wants to donate to the family so that they can relocate and stuff and whatever they need. There's a Wells Fargo near you in King William Street. Sure, yeah, because if the people in the UK can mail there, it's going to be cheaper than mailing it to the US. But if they use the app, they shouldn't have to mail anything in, right? If Taylor's parents will respond to what, Dylan? Respond to what? Press conference? They already thanked everyone on Saturday. They were at the Vigil and were thanking the community and everyone. Her mother gives her name in the 911 call, Bobby Blue Eyes. Do we know that she's not going to be cremated, Claudia? Do we know that? They could be taking her ashes. And whatever the money is used for them, if they decided not to relocate, I'm sure that they have a use for the funds. I don't even know that they've been earmarked as relocation or what, but right, Claudia. So I'm sure they're going to do what's best with their for their needs with it. A memory fingerprint. The mother wants to get out of there. Is that okay? Yeah, very understandable, Monica. Very understandable. Right, exactly. Bella says, I think if we choose to donate, then it's up to them to use how they see fit and need. Correct. Right. That's why that's why I'm just not saying like, oh, this is 100% going to be used for the relocation. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to use it. They should be able to use it how they see fit and what benefits their family. I'm not sure, Jenna. I heard the mother had a newborn, but that was a newborn the mother was caring for. Okay, thanks, Bella. Even if it's take time from work, correct, absolutely. I don't know, Miss Chitter Chatter. No siblings, Monica? If they want to go and eat cheesecake all day and that's what they need to make them happy, then Bella's not going to judge them. Who would? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. Local Wells Fargo, Lexington, South Carolina phone number. Thank you, Justin Caser. I want to know why no reward money. Carolina girl, I don't know. I don't know. Right, you don't tell them what to do with it. If someone's worried about it, don't give. Exactly, Carol, yeah. Exactly. Right, there's so many expenses. Right, even though, Christy, then people will say, oh, wait, the funeral's handled by the funeral home. As if like, that's good, oh no, I'm not saying, yes, it's just like, there's a lot of other expenses. There's a lot of healing. Maybe they need to use it for therapy. Maybe they don't have insurance. You don't know. You should just give it to them and, if you want, and trust that they'll use it for what they need. But not that they have to come out with like an accounting for every cent, because then people are like, oh, wait, I don't think she relocated yet. Or, oh, wow, she didn't relocate that far away. She said she was going out of state and she went, right on the border of another state. Or, Donate, don't dictate. That's a good hashtag there. Just give from your heart and let it be. Correct, too, Scooter. Unconditional giving, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's difficult not only covering them for everybody involved, because everybody gets, well, at least a lot of us are empaths, and we get so wrapped up in them and feel them so deeply. And that's why we need, like the relief that we get. That's probably why we're crafty or something, because we have to do something fun. Maybe why we have senses of humor. I wonder if someone would look into people that have an interest in true crime, but are also empaths, and if they have if they tend to be more crafty or have a sense of, something to balance out the emotions that go into that, right? Absolutely amazing grace. And speaking of that, I have a huge craft haul to do that I think we probably can all use a break from in a little bit here. And the arts are very healing, aren't they, at Sierra? And I think we need to have a craft night very, very soon. Yeah, right, Josephine? Crafting's your therapy? Yeah, I think we really all need some crafting time. They did act quickly here, Susan. They were on, very quickly. It's a shame. It's a shame. You got napkins? Where'd you get them, Josephine? Did you just get them? Did you get them in local stores? I've got more to show in this haul. This happened in Cayce, South Carolina. Cayce. Cayce. You got a box from Craft Outlet today? I might have a box coming from Michael's today, and I might have gone overboard in AC Moore, and I might have gone overboard in some other stores. Like, what was the other store I was in before AC Moore? Crap. What other store was it? It wasn't TJ Maxx. It was some... What the freak? What was the other store I went to? I went to Pier 1. I didn't see anything too much in Pier 1, and then I went somewhere else. Oh my gosh, this is really bad. Where did I go? It wasn't Ollie's. Or was it Ollie's? No, it wasn't Ollie's. It wasn't Ollie's. Oh, help me out here. This is scary. Where else did I say I went that day after I dropped J Bells off? AC Moore was one, but that was the last one. Oh yeah, incense and stuff? No, he brought them all in. I'm not hiding them. He knows all about them. He knows about my addiction. I want to get I'm going to get the shelves downstairs and start putting when you see all the wood stuff I got. Oh my goodness. No, it wasn't Michael's. I'm getting really scared now. Where the freak did I go? Christmas tree shops. Christmas craft amnesia. Christmas tree shops. I knew that it wasn't in the one strip mall that I was in. Christmas tree shops. Yeah, so I have to go do that haul. And Dylan, sorry, what happened to Dylan? I went to the dollar store with J Bells and Lisa. I went to TJ Maxx with J Bells. I went to Home Goods, but I only got a few napkins in Home Goods, so I have that too. I'm out and proud. There's no way to hide anything from Jimmy. He's into everything. My craft confessions, yeah. He actually brought them in. That's what he was bringing in. He was making a little noise, if you heard during the press conference. He was bringing bags in. But wait till you see. I'm going to get my receipts, And I don't know if I should do it live or not. If I do it live, it's going to have to be that I just do it without looking at the chat, so that when people are watching, they can see the whole haul as if I would do it not live, and then we can talk about them. But if I stop, like if somebody says, oh my gosh, how was that wooden tray like that? Just $2. I'm going to have a freak out. And then I say, oh yeah, isn't it? Then we'll never get through it. You do enough damage on your own, I'd get you into real trouble. I probably would, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. You would just have to stay next to me and not leave, so I'm not talking to total strangers. You do plaster casting and clay working, but can be arm twisted to craft. Oh, but you can have your arm twisted to craft. Okay. Well, if we have random craft nights, I think that would be fun too. Like if just there's random craft nights where everybody would just bring what they're working on. And okay, so maybe I'll come back in a few minutes and do it live, but I would do it that way, where I would just do it as if we weren't live and then talk to you all afterwards so that I can get through it. All right? And I think we can all use a break. So, let's have our moment of silence. Do I have my phone? Yeah, for Faye. And then, okay, tracker. So let's have a moment of silence for Faye, and then we will end this live. And give me a few minutes, and I'll come back and do another live with the crafts. Okay, so let me get Siri to get our moment here. Hey Siri, can you set the timer for 60 seconds, please?
Okay, your timer is set for 1 minute.
Okay. All right, well, rest in peace, sweet little girl. And I'll come back and do a haul in a few minutes, okay? All right, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the moderators, and be kind, be nice, love each other. All right, God bless, love you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Let me close out of the live here, which is over here.